resume.
Felt. They have a queen now. They're not gonna stop.
So
I woke her up. So I have to stop her.
Yeah,
translated to Tyrion. UIR Third Fleet decimated by Cog superweapon.
Let's just go see Baird.
Bomborg, the Battle Bomborg, has come to a stunning conclusion, with the URA Third Fleet reporting the loss of at least 4 naval vessels off the coast of Ostreet. This is no doubt the clearest signal in the decades that the Pendulum War may soon be coming to a conclusion, with Premier are soon to be underway. When pressed to comment on the nature of the Coalition's new weapon platform, said, "I believe it is in the best interest of all UR citizens to listen to what the COG has to say at this juncture." The Premier's office indicated the full statement would be issued soon. Meanwhile, seemingly contradictory released by the Commander Mirian Tresco of the Third Fleet proclaimed simply, "We are not defeated, we are not deterred. The Third Fleet has regrouped, rearmed, reaffirmed its commitment to our mission that of our United Republics." Has no comment on the... Okay. So, what I enjoy about this is we heard about the UIR, and I've read about the UIR in the books. I haven't read all the comics yet, and I will probably end up getting them all just because, like I said, the Gears universe to me is fantastic. And the fact that they brought Paddock back, I'm glad that they're connecting all the stories. Like I said, Judgment, not my favorite. I felt like this story was... Baird played too much of a central role, and I didn't think he was a good enough central character. However, I think by being here in the desert and being like, hey, this is another nation, so the architecture is a little bit different. Still gothic, still very heavy, but like its body armor that works is kind of used no matter what. But you can see it's green, it looks a little grittier, it's a little bit less rounded, more boxy, so it's even not as good as the Cogs is at the Pendulum Wars time, because that is similar to what we're wearing now. So you see who the successful line was in this very instance by comparing and showing you, hey, this might have been old armor, and we don't know if it's completely old, maybe that armor is a newer version of it. But, that being said, we still get to see another civilization, another culture within this series, outside of just the aliens. So it's no longer the humans and the aliens. We're going to start to see what the Queen was talking, or what Niles was talking about when he said, theirs are more perfect. They can see everything. They know what is going on, and it's not necessarily a... They have that hive mind, which makes them better, makes them more apt to work together. And I think showing us that by taking us to this area is going to be fantastic, because now we're going to see who did we fight during the Pendulum Wars? What does another person sound like or even look like in this universe that's not Tyrion, not like the Cog here on Sarah? And we also had that a little bit when we, in the third game, when you were introduced to Ty and Kate and Reyna, her mother. Like, they are all more along the lines of, like, our version of, I would say, like, the Philippines or Indonesian, even having the tattoos and the markings like that. Translated Tyrion, High Council of Gorsnana, top secret Agent 9, our allies intend to submit to peace talks with the COG. We, the Grozny, do not. The briefcase you have been given contains means decisively, and the war with the COG, you will deliver it to Major Paddock. You are authorized to liquidate anyone who impedes you. Huh. So when did this take... That's really cool. I love the desert here too. I think the red is a really stark contrast, coming from like the very muddied shooters that like Pat and Wooly from Super Best Friends play.
You're here. Grab this module off the table. Jack's about due for an upgrade.
Hijack. Temporary takes control of an enemy in co-op. Only the Jack player can equip. Okay.
Done. What's it do?
Follow me. So a couple of days ago, I sent Paddock a care package. Some DBs and some leeches.
Intriguing. Potentially disastrous, but intriguing.
Thank you. See, the way you described Niles' machine gave me an idea. I call it hijack. Go ahead. Try it out. Show him what you got, Jack.
Whoa. You figured out how to override the hive mind?
No. Jack just floods their brains with voltage. It's crude, doesn't last long, but it works.
So which swarm can we use it against?
Well, our test subject data is limited, obviously, but... you know what? Go nuts out there. See what happens.
Ah, okay.
Oh, one more thing. Stop by and see Paddock before you go. He's out front.
Oh wow, look at these trails. So this reminds me of the Salt Planet at the
Once we
very...
get this hammer up, I need to know if I can rely on you.
Don't worry about that. This time, we're gonna do it right.
You know what happened to Lizzie in the convoy. It wasn't your fault.
Kind of you to say, but I'm the one who pushed the button. I had a bad feeling about it. I didn't want to do it, but I did. So that's on me.
Speaking of all that, have you seen JD around lately?
Try my best not to, kid.
Why not?
Hey, Baird. What's this Guardian doing here?
Oh, just futzing around with its shield generators.
No, come on, let's... Why don't you want to see JD? That's a bummer.
Hey, did you hear that Paddock guy's accent? It's Grozny.
Yeah.
Grozny.
And they kind of had a rep back in the day. Torture, war crimes.
Remember where I come from? The COG had the same rep.
Thank you for putting... So here's the deal, guys. I'm gonna say this as somebody who thinks violence can be a very, very apt solution. I will go out there and say, you're right, violence should never be... Violence is not the answer. But it's a solution. And if you want to find an end, violence works. That being said, all worms are crime. Everyone who fights to that extent, myself included,
Come have a look, children.
is
Until
a criminal.
Few weeks ago, we were holding out fine against your so-called swarm. Then everything changed. They got smarter. Suddenly they were wearing armor, and they started making deals. Take one, if you want.
So you all have been fighting the swarm alone?
Yes, which is why I agreed to let Baird come here. We help you with your rocket launch. You help us take back our land. Speaking of which, our water supply's been cut off. We've been trying to restore it, but your swarms made that difficult, to say the least.
Getting the hammer up's our priority, but... Say we help. What do you need?
Our water tower. You'll pass it on the way out. Haven't heard from my people there in a while. Could be nothing, could be something. Check in if you can.
All right.
And now the big question. Are you children really prepared for this? Because your skiff's ready on the runway, and the desert awaits.
I like him so much. So good. But to get back to my previous statement, that is... Ah,
I see you have good taste in weapons. That is reassuring. So, I suppose you're curious about how Baird and I met.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
General Carr, Alvo Bay, the light mass missile. I doubt these words mean much to you.
Don't be so sure.
Well, it might amuse you to know. I fought for the COG once, alongside your friend Baird. He showed me that not all COG are bad. They're just mostly bad.
Okay. Good talk.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's a very good... I like how he comments the fact that I picked up this weapon. Oh, it's so good. Like I said, I love my DMR. Alright. Nomad's Creed. 1. Prior allegiances are not discussed. Belongings are shared by all. Supply yourself accordingly to your need. You will be judged by a single criterion. Do you contribute? You will stop shitting your bunks. You will not narc. Alright. Oh my god, that's so good. I'm glad he's like, you have a good taste in the weapon, because I picked up the weapon that he would have primarily used in Judgment. So that's a good feature to have. But yeah, no matter where you go, like over in England, like we right now are judged off of Trump and pulling out from allies. Like, is that how you treat an ally? Having served, like, yes, that is how we treat an ally, because that's how our commander-in-chief and who we reflect off of treat an ally. So it's this